everybody. Happy Wednesday. Welcome into the building. It's Wednesday, trending topics, okay? And we got some stuff to talk about. I'm glad to see y'all here. Listen, don't forget, hit the like button, okay? That's your ticket on this train ride, and we're going to get things started. So tonight's trending topics is called Messy Situation. Somebody put in the chat, hashtag messy situation. Yes, the trending topic tonight is called Messy Situation. Before I get into that, after all of this trouble and everything that went down, Jeezy and Jenny Mai are now divorced. They settled it, and it's sealed. And you know what? I'm going to say this. As much as I'm so nosy and I would like to know what went down and how it all panned out, I'm glad it's sealed. Because they got a baby girl to worry about, and she's going to have enough to Google when she gets older and see what happened and how her parents was going back and forth. But if I was a betting chick, I would put money on it that Jenny Mai got everything she wanted. Yes, I would. Because when you got footage of the man walking around his home waiting, like he's waiting for a war, she has some other stuff too. So hashtag shout out to Jenny Mai. She won. But anyway, we'll carry on. Okay. So in Oprah, you know, when you got a best friend, you tell your best friend everything. They know everything. I know I be telling my best friend everything. And she like, girl, I'm like, girl, this what happened. And she tell me everything too. So Gail made a mistake and she was all on the news on the air. Good morning. What is it? CBS Mornings. Talking about Oprah got the bubble guts. Said Oprah got bubble guts. It was coming out her butt. It was coming out her mouth. And she was in the hospital. So then Oprah want to come and she wasn't even really feeling better. I don't know why these celebrities feel they got to prove something to the public. I don't know why they feel that way. So she was in her house, barely sitting up, half talking about, no, I wasn't in the hospital. I just went to the emergency room. No, Oprah, you was in the hospital. You had the IV. You had to stay a little bit. And this ain't Gail talking. Oprah didn't say this out her mouth. But I believe she probably had some complications from that Ozempic. Oprah's in her 70s. You know what? I'm going to leave it alone because I ain't trying to upset nobody. All I'm saying is, Oprah, you're good enough. What's that movie where Viola Davis, she plays a character. She said, you is smart, you is kind, you is pretty. I want to say that to Oprah. Oprah is going to be okay. Listen, I struggle with the weight thing too. Sometimes you just got to push the plate away. Get up and be like, okay, I had enough. But I'm going to carry on. Oprah, I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad all is well. Yeah, okay, I got help, y'all. It was the help. You is pretty, you is kind. You can do this. Thank you, Amy F. You're good enough. But they're not on the docket tonight, so let me carry on and move on. Y'all ready? It's a messy situation. So this TikToker, you know what the problem is? Everybody wants to go viral. So some people will do every and anything to go viral. Yes, they will. I don't know. I couldn't figure out this TikToker. I couldn't figure out, was this just her? Did she think this conversation was going to go another way? I'm still weighing it out. But she got on TikTok. I don't know if she was cooking chicken steak. I don't know what she was cooking. She was cooking something. She had on her apron, and she wanted to give a public service announcement. And that public service announcement went left. So left, she got fired from her job. She was making chicken. Let's call it chicken. She's seasoning and this and that and boop, 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 boop. And she wanted to let the men know that all ladies are not gold diggers. Matter of fact, she said most of her friends, they do mess with broke ninjas. That's what she said. Don't come at the diva. That's what she said. And then she went on to say that all of y'all men out there who think that, you know, the women want are gold diggers. She said some derogatory stuff. I'm gonna let y'all hear it out of her mouth. Well, the people was in an uproar. They was clawing at her neck. Her job put out a statement and they fired her. And she came back and said, I give 0 cares. Child, the people just don't be thinking. Messy situation. So we got Porsha Williams versus Simon Guobadia. So I always give this announcement, but I think it's always worth repeating. I'll never understand an individual that will get with another individual while they're still in a situation and they treat their other person like trash, and they think that bad behavior is never going to impact them. So I don't really know Simon's situation when he got with Porsha, but I do know it was messy. Porsha proceeded on, because you know what? Everybody think it'll never happen to me. They all think that. Ask Neil ex-wife. She knew how he treated Monietta, but she thought, not me. Then a few years later, she crying about how he wanted the threesomes, the orgies, the this, the that, the other. A lot of these men out there in the entertainment world, they're not saying anything about Diddy in the situation. Why? Because many of them do Diddy-like behavior. And they don't want to get caught out there saying something about Diddy, and then their dirt comes out and they have to go run and hide. So back to Simon. Simon for the streets. And Simon is messing with Porsha check. And that's one scenario. But the other thing is, Porsha's not smart enough to checkmate him and be a step above him. Why? Because she'd rather profile on the Instagram to people she don't even know in a Rolls Royce in a mansion. She'd rather profile. She'd rather be able to post on the gram that she's sitting in her mansion rather than leave that mansion behind, take her daughter Pilar and go get herself a condo, a townhouse, a studio apartment. I don't give a darn what she gets. And maybe leave the Rolls Royce in that driveway and go get her, I don't know. What can she get her? Get yourself a Mercedes-Benz. I don't know. But you're going to mess around and this man is going to have you lose your RHOA check because you want to stay in that mansion. It's like you staying in that mansion by any means necessary. You got to be dumb, stupid, or both. Because now he sent Truly Entertainment, because Simon ain't got nothing to do. It ain't nothing worse than a bitter, angry, petty man. He ain't got nothing else to do. And you want to know what's interesting, Porsha? You taught him how to be the hip-hop, the Instagram king. Yeah, you was posting him up. And now he know how to post up himself. And every time you turn around, he posting. He said, no more Africans, no more Rolls Royce, go buy your own. So he sent Truly Entertainment a cease and desist, and he said, don't take a picture of my Rolls Royce. He said, don't film my Rolls Royce. Don't do nothing with my Rolls Royce. And if you already filmed or did something with my Rolls Royce, you better not show it. You talking petty. Child, they need to upgrade the definition of petty and put Simon picture in there. Yeah, the dynamic duo, Porsha and Kenya, won't last either. Listen, yeah, he petty. Yeah, you know what, Raheem? He is worse than Mark. We thought Mark was bad. Well, Simon takes the cake, honey. He is up there. He is petty. But you know what? Even though he signed the prenup, he mad at himself because he signed the prenup saying, if we break up, I'll move out the house and all this. He thought it was all good in the hood. And then when it happened, he's like, oh no. I promise you, in my heart of heart, if she give him that mansion and said, you know what, I'm good, I'm done, he'll call all this off. He wants back in his mansion because he still has to pay for it. I will let him in. I'm done. Take your mansion back. I cannot. Not doing it. Yeah. So we're going to talk about those two. Then we're going to talk about Justin Bieber's big move. You know, Diddy was out in the streets. Diddy was out in the streets. You know, TMZ, they everywhere. They call him out and about in the streets. And they said, how you doing? He said, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday. He was seen with this man. Now, I don't know what Diddy was doing, but listen, the man looked different and shady. But listen, maybe Diddy has to go get his own stuff now. Y'all fill in the blank. But anywho, I'm going to carry on because this ain't really about Diddy. This is about Justin Bieber dropping the management team that was named in the Diddy lawsuit. He don't want no bad press. He don't want no negativity. You know, most of these people now, they don't want they are cut and tied. They don't want nothing connected to Diddy. You come and do an interview, you say you used to work for Sean John, they like, you know what, we'll call you. Don't call us. You go on another interview, they sure you work for Puffy, P. Diddy, whatever. You done. If you work for that man for 10 years, you got to act like you was a stay-at-home something. Don't even put it on your resume. People ain't going to probably give you a chance. They don't want nothing to do with you because they're going to be afraid, especially if you're a man and you work for him, they're going to be afraid that you picked up some of them traits and that behavior. You're going to have to scrub it from your resume. Pretend like you never worked for Diddy in your whole entire life. So if you only work for him for 60 days or something like that, consider yourself lucky. Yeah, come on now. We'll call you. Don't call us. Come on now, Special K. They said, don't call us. We'll call you. We don't want nothing to do with you and Diddy. We don't want to hear the stories. We don't want Homeland Security, the FBI. We don't want none of them coming up over here. You're not doing that. But tonight's trending topics, y'all, is called messy situation. Somebody put that in the chat, hashtag messy situation. Listen, guys, I'm about to load this train up, and I'm going to tell you ahead of time, buckle your seatbelt because we're going to talk. Y'all know how we do over here. And you know what I always have to say, catch the train, don't catch feelings. Listen, when I pull the train into the last stop, I'm done. I'm not holding on to these past conversations. So when I pull this train into the last stop, don't be taking no luggage off with y'all. Leave it on the train. Leave it on the train. Don't take it. Catch the train. Don't catch feelings. I'm about to pull this thing out the building. I see you, Tay-Tay, and I appreciate you. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Wednesday night, hump day, trending topics, and it's called messy situation. Yeah, we got the chick from TikTok, okay, saying she all of her friends met with broke ninjas. Okay, we got Porsha Williams versus Simon Guobadia, and so far Simon Guobadia is for the win. Simon got like 19-0. He is clowning her on these streets. He said, would you really listen to a chick that think there's only 265 days in a year? He clowning his estranged wife. And he's winning so far. Then Justin Bieber's big move. Let me go ahead and load this train up because I want to talk to the people. Hold on 1 second now. Let's see who are over here in the building. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva. Choo choo.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, E. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Julius. Hey, Tay-Tay.
Hello.
Hello. Listen, we got a spot left on the train, on the platform. If y'all want to come on, y'all better hurry up. Click the link before the train pulls out the building. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And you know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and get started with Porsha and Simon Guobadia. We might as well go ahead and get that out the way. This man is for the streets. This man is for the streets. He is straight up for the streets, okay? And so he's been clowning Porsha left and right. And it's one thing to clown her. There's one thing I don't play with. Don't mess with my money. Don't mess with my money. You could be mad at me. Don't mess with my money. Don't mess with my job. Don't be calling my boss. Don't mess with the cash flow, because then I'm going to, all bets off. It's going to be a war. But see, he playing with her and she's allowing him to play these games. Why? Because yeah, she for the streets too, Michelle. But you know what? Porsha for the streets, but she thought she had a wussy in Simon. She thought because Simon was all for her. Yeah, you can make me up, make me over, get my teeth fixed, help me trim down and slim down, help me post stuff for the Instagram, show me how to use what do they do, the filters and all of that. Because Simon the other day also wrote, is it appropriate for you to be married and still exchanging gifts with your ex? Oh, Simon for these streets. And Porsha better wake up and give that mansion up, because he's coming for her, okay? Let me see. I got so many screens open here. Let's go ahead and get right into this story. So divorce turns nastier. Porsha Williams' ex issues a blistering cease and desist letter to order Bravo to stop filming his Rolls Royce. First, he had them stop filming in the home. Now he's saying, don't film my car. Next, he's going to say, I bought her those outfits. You can't film her in those outfits, her earrings, her ring. This man is crazy. So Simon Guobadia subpoena to RHOA producers pertaining to his 2021 Rolls Royce Ghost vehicle is the latest development after a judge awarded the reality star temporary use of the residence. So Porsha Williams' estranged husband Simon Guobadia has fired off a scathing cease and desist letter demanding that his Rolls Royce cannot be filmed amid the couple's messy split, RadarOnline.com can report. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star pulled the plug on their marriage from Guobadia in February, requesting their prenup signed before the couple's 2022 nuptials be enforced, and for her ex to honor their agreement that he would vacate their marital home if the couple ever split. Guobadia fired back with a request to block the Bravo celebrity from allowing cameras inside their abode to film the show. The parties raised the issue of whether the terms of the prenuptial agreement permits or prohibits filming, recording in the marital residence, as this matter was not formally noticed for the evidentiary hearing on the substantive issues surrounding the parties' prenuptial agreement. The court reserves those issues for later determination. The order dated May 31st read, Guobadia's subpoena to RHOA producers pertaining to his 2021 Rolls Royce Ghost vehicle is the latest development after the judge awarded the reality star temporary use of the residence. You are notified that pursuant to Georgia law, you are ordered to cease and desist any and all photographing, video recording, taping, and filming of the Rolls Royce upon information and belief. True Entertainment, LLC, may have been filming, recording, or photographing the Rolls Royce while it may have been in use in or possession of third parties other than Mr. Guobadia. If such actions have occurred, I'm requesting that no photographs or recordings be released, disclosed, or published, as Mr. Guobadia does not consent to the same regarding his vehicle. Regardless of the use, physical possession, or operation of the Rolls Royce, please note that Mr. Guobadia remains the sole legal owner of the vehicle. As such, demands your strict compliance with the cease and desist notice accordingly. When he filed this, he showed the driver's license. He showed who it belongs to. He showed proof of purchase and that he is just the sole owner. He's being messy because they already started filming. So if Bravo already filmed her pulling up to the donut shop to meet the girls with this Rolls Royce, they're going to have to go back and cut that out. So at this point, Porsha is causing them a headache. She's causing them money. She's causing them time. And, and it's happening as a direct result of Simon being on her neck. Simon doesn't want his Rolls Royce to be featured on the show. As part of the current arrangement, Guobadia is still on the hook for the mortgage payments and cannot enter the residence without prior written consent. Mr. Guobadia purchased and insured the 2021 Rolls Royce Gold solely in his name on October 26, 2021. The blistering letter obtained by RadioOnline.com stated, including proof of purchase and ownership, as well as a copy of the vehicle insurance card. As such, please note that Mr. Guobadia does not consent to release, disclosure, or publication of the Rolls Royce, nor does he consent to the taping, filming, photography, or recording of the Rolls Royce, including any aspects of any activity in or about the Rolls Royce. This man is so petty, it's unbelievable. In my opinion, your thoughts. Nice to see you.
First of all, I don't care about no Simon Guobadia. Let me tell you something. See, this is where the narcissists that we were talking about last night, these are how these abusers act. Okay. So he bought this girl this car. He advertised it on the social media that now he's coming back and saying she doesn't own it. But you gave it to her on the social media street. So I think Porsha just need to pull up them receipts of her getting her car as a gift to her. Of course, you had to put it in his name. She wasn't there. So it's a gift. Once you give me a gift, it's mine. I'm pretty sure Georgia law is going to stand up to it too.
I appreciate you. In my opinion, Savannah, you're up.
This is what they call karma circling back to get you. And I think Porsha has learned quickly that all that glitters is not gold. I hope that Porsha takes this time out to work on herself and know that she really is. I think Portia's broken. I don't know what it is with Porsha. She's a beautiful woman, but she makes horrible choices in men. And I'm just trying to figure out, because it was a simple research on Simon would have shown that he was married, what, 3-4 times? I remember 3 because that was mentioned on the show. It was easy for these YouTubers to find his criminal record and his battle to get citizenship. So I don't buy that Porsha was naive and didn't know of Simon's status and current situation. So I just think she thought she was gonna live this fairy tale lifestyle, which they did. They lived it up for a little over a year, as much as they posted on Instagram. It seemed like they were on vacation all the time. But I really want Porsha to take some time and work on herself, because I think that this comeback, that Bravo plan for Porsha to save RHOA and make Sweet 16 about this Porsha living this lavish life that she was portraying on the social media realms, it was all fake. It was all nothing but fake. And I think Simon deserves a peach with all the mess that's going on. And I really think he should get a peach and let him bring it on. I think it'll be interesting. But Portia's getting what she wanted. This is exactly, she didn't vet him. She got balance problems. So she's getting her karma.
Yeah. Listen, this what this man wrote. No more Africans, no more Rolls Royces. # buy your own. He's petty. He's petty. Then he wrote this question. Is it appropriate to exchange expensive gifts with an ex while legally married to someone else? # inquiring minds want to know. This man is for the streets. For the streets. Wayne, you're up.
Well, in my opinion, all I can say is this is what happened when you marry for money and not for love.
Ooh. Thank you. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
Hey, so I have to go with Savannah. You know, Simon is a problem, but Simon has always been a problem. But the fortunate thing is, he wasn't your problem. And if I believe Fallon, you were sleeping with him before they even filed for divorce. And Simon can be a mess, but this is something that Porsha voluntarily signed up to do. And if you keep doing the same thing throughout your 40 years of existence, I'm assuming that you don't see anything wrong with it. And so, if Porsha likes the way this has been going, from R. Kelly to Cordell Stewart to Duke Williams, Dennis McKinley, and now Simon Guobadia, all of these men had women before you met them, or
Woo.
why you met them, and why you first started entertaining them. Remember, she slept with Dennis on the first night. Listen, I'm not. This person has a pattern, is what I'm trying to say. And every time a man gets rid of Porsha, he dogs her out. And people keep saying how smart Porsha is, and Simon got signed on to this prenup. Yeah. However, it was only 15 months of marriage. I think that's 400 and something days. Now, since Porsha thinks it's 265 days in the year, she probably thought 2 years had passed by already. Simon has more equity in that house than what Porsha put in. And if Porsha is allowed to keep the house, that's fine. But she's going to have to, there's going to have to be some arrangement of funds here. And I don't know if Porsha got it. I think the house may be more of a headache than it's worth. And I truly, truly believe, and I told y'all this when it first came out, they should demote Porsha and make her a friend of the show. The life that she negotiated her contract on, she cannot offer it to you. She's not a housewife. She doesn't own the mansion. And even if she lives there, she can't film in it. She doesn't own the cars that you're driving. So if you ask me, I say Porsha and that Brittany Edie, they are costing this cast tremendously. Truly Original, they need to call me. If you need some HR help, your girl is in the building. I do sourcing and recruiting. Thank you. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Yeah, she it's messy, right? So let's go back to Simon for 1 minute, because like I said, this man is a mess. He said to commonly call a man sassy is to imply women are weak and emotional. That's not a good narrative for our community. Let's do better. He said, future buyers beware. Betrayal is real. He said, the knife is feeling especially deep and painful today. Jesus, take the wheel. And then he said, I'm going to need people who think there are 265 days in a year to stay out of understanding, I guess he meant, complex U.S. immigration laws above your mediocre mind. This is what he's saying about his wife of, 15 months? Felicia, you're up.
Good evening, everyone. We know I don't watch these shows, but I do know a little bit about this couple.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a problem with Simon not wanting them to use his stuff while they're filming this show. I think if they may have, and it didn't come through, that they were supposed to split the money, or Porsha was supposed to compensate him in some way if she was able to negotiate a good deal. And apparently she didn't. So, yeah, it may come across as petty to some folks, but I know if this was reversed, if he were the female and she were the male, no, you can't be filming with my car. No, I don't want you in my house. No, I don't want you talking about me on social media. I'm not part of this deal. I'm not being compensated for being a part of your job. And so I remember when he was breaking up with Fallon, he was just as vicious with his words. Okay. He was just as clear. Okay. And she was sitting up there talking about Porsha when she had a whole baby from another man up in her uterus. So, I'm not feeling bad for none of them, because I'm about being compensated. What did you say? Don't mess with my money. He's saying the same thing. Don't mess with my money and don't mess with my stuff.
Well,
So she should have known who he was and worked out that deal he would have played around and pretended that they were still together and that we were living in the house happy. Let's make this money together. No, she got greedy. She want all the money. Well, now she's not getting what she needs to be pretending to have all the money. So she's going to have to go renegotiate with her soon-to-be ex-husband if she wants to be able to salvage any of this. And I agree with Wayne, and I agree with Savannah, and I agree with E. So, Porsha, pull it down on paper. She knows what she has to do to make this work. She's unwilling right now, but she better figure it out and go work out that money.
I appreciate you. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, he's playing the game better than Peter. Our honorary housewife. Simon is playing the game. The thing of it is, I wish, but like, if he gave those gifts to her, and if it wasn't contingent on marriage or anything like that, she get to keep those gifts, because those are the gifts that he gave his wife. Regardless if they was married this time, that time, those are gifts you gave me. The same car he gave her, he gave Fallon, which I don't know why Porsha went for that. Then when he left Fallon left with a starter home and $50,000. What make you think you was going to get more? I mean, come on. This man is petty. He's big time petty. He's a scam artist. He's been scamming. So he feel like Porsha got a scam all with him. So he's over there. He's balling now. He's mad because he feel like he got the left out part. But hopefully they'll work it out. It's crazy that people let materialistic things ruin their minds and their bodies and their head. I mean, their money. Porsha let all that stuff. She let all her jobs go except for her sheets and hair, and dealt with this man. But this man, you saw how he treated the first wife. So what make you think he was going to get any better treatment? They're crazy. But that's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Julius, you're up.
If delusion was a person, it would be this lady. Because she is delusional. You decided to talk a big game. Well, like the saying goes, you fluff around, you're going to find out. Well, guess what? She finding out.
All right, Julius, I appreciate you. Tay-Tay?
Porsha, you need to hang out with Jennifer Lopez, because y'all rushing relationship after relationship after relationship. Y'all need to go to the club and say, I'm single. And why in the world you need a man, girl? You supposed to be single. You need to focus on your daughter and tell her that you ain't must the TV show to be a wife house. Anyway, just focus on your career and get rid of Simon, please. That's all, Devo.
I appreciate you. Q. Thank you for this. She said one of the most eye-opening things I learned from being an admin for Winter was that most reality stars do not have money. They just got regular money. If that, like us. Okay. Woo woo woo. All right. Well, speaking of money, Nene's being sued by the realtor or the landlord from where she used to have her store, Swag. And it's $25,000. And I would say even in our world, $25,000 is not that much that you can't make out some type of payment plan and just pay these people. But she wanted to ignore it because she wanted to say that, her ex-husband, not her ex-husband, her deceased husband signed the lease and not her. Well, everything that I know of, when you are married, your debt is your debt and your spouse's debt is their debt, but together y'all both kind of own each other's debt. Especially when your spouse passes, you are supposed to clear all of their debt before the money goes anywhere else. But you know what? Now she got a default judgment and they're ready to seize her bank account for this $25,000. I mean, just pay the money. Pay the money.
And she own an apartment too.
And then that she does, she owns an apartment. I mean, pay the money. But we have come to find out, because Nene goes in and out of doing her YouTube channel. She was back, and I don't think she posted since God knows when. Nene is the type of person where she just wants to go to somebody's platform and show up for work. She doesn't want to put in the work. She doesn't want to put in any work. But the crazy part is, what she doesn't understand, she has that power where she could turn on her YouTube and say whatever, and the people going to tune in. Reminds me similar to like a Virgin Dill. The people just be tuning in, but I'll carry on. Anywho, so let's go ahead and roll into the next story. So the next story, I guess I'll go to, I'll do this TikToker story. I'll do that one next. We'll go ahead and roll into that, where this TikToker pretty much used the N-word, said a lot of derogatory things, stood 10 toes down on what she said, and she got fired from her job. And pretty much she was like, well, it is what it is. Okay. And she talked about, I do want to address this before I share the screen. And she talked about how, her what do they call that? Your rights are, her right to speak, or free speech.
First Amendment.
First Amendment, right? And guys, give me 1 second. Talk about something. I just need to grab this.
Well, so we're talking about the First Amendment. Do you all think that it's okay to say what you want online without repercussions from your employer, as long as you don't mention the employer? I do think that's an interesting topic.
I think not. And this is why. Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. LV said that the new woman or wife always thinks it'll be different and get better treatment from the man than the last woman. Not true. Not true. It was a hot mess. I'm sorry for that pause I had to take, y'all. But let me go ahead and share screen really quickly. Okay, so here it is. So trade wife TikToker axed from job after casually saying the N word. The baffling quip went viral Monday, with Lily Gaddis dropping the slur as if she uses it regularly. Okay. So the white trade wife TikToker who casually dropped the N-word in a cooking video that went viral Monday is already paying for her ignorance, with her employer announcing it had let her go with an immediate effect on Tuesday. The woman at the center of the controversy, Lily, referred to her friends' husbands as broke A-N, okay, ninjas. In the clip, dropping a racial slur and a slight southern drawl so naturally, many speculated she must use it in casual conversation. Let me see if it plays here. She says, hold on, let me see.
That's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass niggas.
Actually, I want to let me, because
that's the exception.
I'm gonna find the other video. I'll play that later, the full video. Gladys, whose TikTok account was taken down by Tuesday evening, boasts 50,000 followers on X. On that platform, she showed no remorse for her comment and instead reshared posts from right-wing influencers who rushed to defend her hate speech. If my freedom of speech if my freedom of speech taken, they be coming for yours next, she posted Monday night, not long after posting a clip where she said she couldn't find a care for the outrage she induced. So let me just go ahead and play this.
So a recent video of mine seems to have upset members of a certain community, and all the backlash just really made me, just really do a deep dive, like do a soul search. And after all that, I still couldn't find a care.
You're going to call us racist? You're going to call us potential Timothy McVeighs? Fuck you. War.
Gladys did not strike a particularly conciliatory tone after her job of a home health care company for the elderly and disabled confirmed her departure in a fury statement on Tuesday. Thanks, Black community, for helping to launch my career in a conservative media, she wrote on X. Y'all all played your role well, like the puppets you are. In a statement, the company emphasized that Lily was a newly hired employee and that her statements do not align with the values and beliefs of the company, which is operated by African-American female and immigrant-owned businesses. A since-deleted LinkedIn page listed Lily as a graphic designer who lives in the coastal city of Wilmington, North Carolina. I'm going to find the other piece of the video where you'll hear more of what she says. It is crazy. In my opinion, what are your thoughts?
This so disrespectful. It's blatant disrespect. I'm so tired of people using that word in derogatory and then feeling like they shouldn't be having to apologize, or they shouldn't feel sorry for saying it. Like, the level of how I don't give a, that you done lost everything is what I'm thinking right now. You played a video talking about how you don't give a F, and then you labeled us out and said thank you for being the puppets. Like, no, we telling you what's right and you just won't listen. Your ignorance is appalling. But you know what? I'm gonna let these ignorant people go because I ain't got that kind of hate in my heart to harbor it for them. I'm just gonna keep on praying for them and hope they get better.
Okay, thank you. In my opinion, so wait, major changes at Diva. I think on TikTok she stated this was her plan. Although she got fired, she wanted to blow up, and she made a comment thanking the Blacks. She thought it was going to be cool. Well, she learned the hard way, right? Let me see if I can play, because I couldn't find it. I don't know if they took it down, but I did a video earlier. So let's just see. Let me play it. What? So hold on 1 second.
Okay, this time I have a beef with the male community. I give my criticisms to all because we are all about equity and inclusion here, right? So I'm sick and tired of all girls getting blamed, or like guys, certain guys, thinking that all girls are gold diggers. I don't know if it's because you get your information from those street interviews in like Miami at 3 a.m. outside of a nightclub. You're getting the opinion of some dumb whores and immigrants fresh off the boat looking for a green card. Yes, they are probably gold diggers, but that's the exception. I'm the rule. Everybody I know who's married right now, they're married to broke ass and they don't care. We don't give a fuck about your money. I couldn't care less about your fucking money, okay? My type is broke mechanics and surfer hippie dudes who just want to live in a shack and surf and have babies. All I ask of a man is that you're competent, you're not a pussy. If somebody broke into our house at 3 a.m., you would know how to grab a gun and shoot a motherfucker. That's pretty much all we ask. Like that's pretty much like all girls I know. I don't know one girl who's a gold digger. So stop throwing us all under the bus as if we're all gold diggers, because we don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about your money. My dating history consists of all broke guys. I actually don't even like rich guys. They have an attitude. They're spoiled brats. They don't know anything about real life. I was raised on a farm with 4 brothers, so I can't deal with the bullshit. I don't like a pussy. I hate pussies. So stop with the gold digger. Stop.
Not immigrants off the boat. I know she ain't say that.
Yeah, she was wild. She was wild. Savannah, you're up.
Her parents must be so proud. I was stuck on wondering whether she washed that chicken or not. So that was my first thought that stayed in my head because, they usually don't wash the chicken. But this is all about freedom of speech. And what they seem to forget that the First Amendment does provide you the freedom of speech and protect you from restraints against your right to speak freely. However, it does not grant you immunity about any adverse reactions or being challenged on over the content of your expressions. So basically, she's going to FAFO soon enough. She's going to run into the wrong one, and somebody is going to really check her. And I don't want to hear anything about mental health because this is clearly not mental health. This is absolutely ignorance and hate at its finest. So I will expect to see her on a stage at some rallies, at some conventions, and she will be up there. And I think the last that comment about her doing this intentionally and trying to go viral, although I believe these are her true sentiments. I do believe she did this to go for a viral moment, and she's definitely gonna face some consequences soon enough, whether it be from immigrants on a boat or the Black people that have now made her famous, as she so keeps mentioning. Because I've seen some more little posts about her.
Yeah, unbelievable. Wayne, you're up.
Yeah. It's just sad that in 2024 we still have to deal with this.
Mm-hmm.
It's ongoing. They think they can say anything, and yeah, you can say anything you want and have your right, the First Amendment, but you're responsible for what come out your mouth. You can be prosecuted for things that come out your mouth. Say you're going to do something to the leader of the country. That's freedom of speech. But think they won't come after you. It's happening all the time. These people, they're threatening judges, the FBI, all those, verbally. And they act on it. Fonnie Willis, they arrested a couple of people who threatened her life. Yeah, that's freedom of speech. But they're in jail now with their freedom of speech. So, they just need to curb their words when they're trying to say freedom of speech. You just can't come out your mouth with anything. That's it.
Yeah, I appreciate you. E, you're up.
See, this is where when people ask me why I always talk about color, I immediately believe they are obtuse. I don't understand people who say talking about color makes them feel uncomfortable. When the premise of color is what this country was founded upon, and no matter what temporary liberties we indulge in, which allow us to feel we are further removed from the inherited stereotypes and prejudice from which we come, let this serve as a reminder. We're not. I don't care how many books they remove from the library and what words or courses they ban from certain institutions. As long as people feel uncomfortable with having conversations about color and setting clear boundaries when it comes to such, we will continue to experience discomfort in these mixed environments, and we will suffer loss at every turn. The reason why I have no problem with what this lady said is because so many of them say it, and they say it behind closed doors and they say it outdoors. A lot of white men and women use that word, and some of them use it around Black people. And depending on the environment that they are in and how closely they know Black people, sometimes they will use that word in front of them and to them, and it will be no big deal. And this may be controversial, but I'll say it anyway. The Latin community as well, because I was shocked when I learned that in the Mexican and Puerto Rican communities that they use that word as frequently as they do, and they even call themselves that. They refer to themselves as that. And some white people call other white people that too. So the word has kind of evolved, and the rights to it, I don't know who has the rights to it. Some of your favorite entertainers and actors and musicians have used this word on TV and in their music. And it's, like I said, it's on film. And I have personally been in the presence of Black men who have allowed Asian and white women to call them that word. And when I asked the man, I said, why do you think that's okay? He told me, she don't mean it like that. You're doing too much. And so the way that I process this is, if we are living in a society which is supposed to be at a point where integration is at its maximum, our Black people are putting the word in the music and putting it in our films, and we have a diverse audience who is looking at this, and they feel that they have adapted to the culture, and I'm going to say quote unquote hip hop culture. When they're rapping to your music, they're rapping to all of your lyrics. They're saying the words that you say. When you put this in your films and they're reenacting and they're doing these things on TikTok and these little skits, they're using the word. And so this woman here, she said the word. I believe somebody mentioned, I can't remember if that was Wayne or Savannah, or in my opinion, someone said she was intentionally trying to go viral. This was her plan all along. And I can kind of see that after that teacher went viral and spun that into his own podcast. I can see that. But she came back and she told us exactly how she felt. I don't care that people don't like that I use the word. And when I hear people say that, I don't have a problem with that, because I know you're going to use the word anyway. And I just come to accept it, that because as a community, we as Black people have not set clear boundaries, and we are all not on one accord. We all are not sharing the same message. And I understand we're all not a monolith, but because we are not on one accord, and as a culture, we have not said what is acceptable and what is not. I don't see how. I don't feel any way about this. Sorry.
It's okay. I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Okay, so that was a whole lot of Jimmy jamming, whatever to follow up. So I'm going to try to keep it real simple. In this country, the enslaved American, African American, Black, colored, Negro, whatever you came in under, is the only group of people who have still allowed for a racial slur to be used, like saying hello and good night.
Come on now, you better talk. Woo!
So I have problems when righteous people come up and talk about how other people use it. No, you use it. And when you use it very easily. It comes out real smooth, like I'm saying, hey, how you doing? Mm-hmm. So I think the problem here is twofold. It's multi-layered. This woman is not a brown skin, beige skin looking kind of immigrant. So we don't particularly care that she is so free with the language. There isn't a day that I don't ride the train, the bus. I'm not walking down the street, watching a movie, listening to somebody up on one of these platforms that term is not used. Now, I don't like it, period. I don't care for it. Not just my ancestors from 200 years ago, but 100 years ago got beaten and died and tried to vote and all this other stuff, try to get work and a house and buy some property. And that's how they were defined. And that's how they were treated. And they were denied legally the right and the access to the so-called American dream, because that word, that phrase, that term enveloped a whole lot. It was, you're less than, you're not human, You're not civilized, all of these things. So in comes hip hop culture, and they keep asking the folks, can you pull back on the language? Whole big discussion. Who's boycotting and who's not boycotting? And then it just got worse. It got from there to defining women as a certain way and multiple terms. And so now it's become mainstream all over the world. Her employer had the absolute right to let her go. They didn't like it. They don't want you here anymore. She's working with senior citizens who are like
disabled.
Yeah, where she's probably been mocking and being very sarcastic and indifferent and unhelpful every day. And this was it. She had to go. But I noticed she's still on this platform. She's still in this media saying whatever she's saying. She wants to go viral. I say, let her go viral. I agree with Savannah. There are consequences to your behavior. So she's going to talk long enough till where she finds out she's isolated, because she went very public with not just words, but her thoughts and her feelings about groups of people. If you want to change something, if you want to see people have a different approach, a different value, stop using language that demeans you. Stop calling yourself what is less than.
Come on now.
And then maybe I can come back and have a different kind of conversation about this. I don't use it. I don't particularly care to use it. And I didn't educate my children to use it. You don't come into my home and use it. You're not going to refer to me like we just don't do that. Maybe because we come from a different place. Maybe we experienced it a whole lot worse. But it behooves me that folks are mad with this woman. I believe it's because of the color of her skin. I'm because I've seen so much else on here. So I'm wondering if this is some kind of reverse racism thing. I don't know. But that's who she hangs out with. That's who she's partying with. That's who her friends are. That's how they talk. And that's how she talks. But her employer had every right to let her go. And I'm glad they did. I'm done.
Whew. Katrina, you're up.
Why I gotta go behind Felicia? No, I'm just playing. Exactly. And what if she got colored patients? So are you calling your patients that? I mean, they're elderly. They can't defend themselves, and some of them might lash back out at her. And then you on a platform saying this and double down on what you were saying. So you haven't came across the right people, because I watched this show Sunday on Zeus. I'm not gonna say the name because it's your platform, Diva. And this girl said, this Puerto Rican girl said the N-word and got beat the stew out of her. And she was like, I say it all the time around my friends, but these black girls were like, but don't say it around us because we don't appreciate it. And she got beat the stew out of her. So this girl is saying it around the right people. Because she say that word around the wrong people, she going to be walking around looking like a raccoon because her eyes going to be black. And I'm not saying it to be funny. I'm just saying it to be real. You're saying it around the right people. You haven't said it around the wrong people yet. And if people don't understand, the word means that you're ignorant, that you're dumb, you're stupid. So why would you even say that? If somebody calling me that, they're calling me dumb and ignorant. I'm not dumb and ignorant. So don't prefer me to that word, because that's not who I am. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Where am I at? My screen seemed to have shifted. Wayne, did I come to you?
Yes, I think it's Julius.
You
Okay.
are Julius.
Thank you, Julius. You're up.
Well, this woman exposed herself, and her employer has values, and she didn't represent those values even if she was in her own home. So they did the thank you for your services.
They sure did.
It's just desserts. They decided to not have a bigot on their payroll or a part of their company. Good for them. When you're a bigot and you think you're still going to be employed, you better think long and hard, because your employer may be lurking on the low, or have people lurking, or they may be suspicious about you.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you fluff around, you going to find out, and you ain't going to like the result. Like this lady here. I don't have any kind of sympathy for her. That's it.
Appreciate you, Julius. Tay, you're up.
I don't have no sympathy for her either. You read what you sow, it's gonna come back to you. And karma, it's gonna come back to you. You better hope and pray and somebody gonna not call you the racist term. How you like it if somebody call you the racist term, like you say on your video. Look at the mirror and you see yourself. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tay. It's very sad. But I do believe, let me see what Letitia said. Diva, this is scary since Trump, everyone is okay not hiding their racism. If he wins, we will soon hear that word in the White House. And I can see him being like, oh, good gosh. How long before freedom of speech people take her under their wing? How long before freedom of speech people take her under their wing? It's a lot. I'm gonna roll into the last story. Many people are distancing themselves. Hey Zeta.
Hi.
Did you want to say something about this story?
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
did. It's been
Okay.
a long time. How are you?
Good.
So, everything that she said is just a bunch of mess. First of all, she was saying that she's a trad wife, but she's dating broke men and she's also working. As a trad wife, you're not supposed to be working, right? And you're supposed to be a stay-at-home wife. And how are you gonna date a broke man? That man is not gonna provide for you. Okay, beyond that, now you're saying the N word. She said that white people played right into her, her act or whatever. And she did this on purpose because she wanted to go to conservative media. And she's low key, she's absolutely right. Because you know that we're gonna get outraged and you know that we're gonna make a bunch of comments about this. Yes, you have your freedom of speech, but you also know better. But the area that she's in, I'm also from that area as well, Wilmington, North Carolina, and the majority is about 90% white, the population, then like 20% black and I'm sorry, 86, 88%, and then 20% black or whatever. And this is just right up their alley. That area is filled with a bunch of white people, a lot of conservative ideologies, and she's just speaking what she knows. And in that area, she's not going to get canceled for what she said. The people can actually support her. So I don't know what we can do because I don't use the N word. I know a lot of people use the N word, but where she's at, I think she's just going to be applauded. She's going to be their hometown hero, basically.
Well, hopefully she get herself another job somewhere if she has to work. But I appreciate you and your thoughts on that. I'm gonna roll into the last story. At one point in time, the name Sean Combs, Diddy, Puffy, Brother Love, it was well respected. And now his name is Mud. He went from one end of the spectrum to the other. And so now it seems like, and y'all, can y'all please hit the like button as you're in the building? It seems like, Justin Bieber no longer wants anything connected to Diddy because he dropped, let me just make sure I get the right story. He dropped the management team that was named in one of Diddy's lawsuits. He no longer wants to be connected. So Justin Bieber fires business manager named in Diddy lawsuit. Justin Bieber cut ties with TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group this week after firing Hollywood business manager Lou Taylor. The singer teamed up with the company in the late 2022 to supervise Bieber Time Touring LLC. Justin Bieber Brands LLC and Bieber Time Merchandise were also part of the portfolio. Bieber fired the manager amid Diddy allegations. Insider reports the pop superstar dropped Taylor last month in response to bad press, and Bieber immediately hired Johnny Depp's business manager, Edward White. The decision comes after TriStar employee Robin Greenhill got named in a lawsuit. The suit filed against Sean Diddy Combs came earlier this year. Greenhill allegedly served as Combs' accountant. He is accused of overseeing payments to the S workers. This is according to producer Little Rodney Jones, who claims Combs SH drugged and threatened him. Justin's split with Lou was not amicable, a source said. He fired her. People generally stay with their accountant for ages, and Justin was only with TriStar for 2 years. Lou Taylor has been in hot water before. Let me just pause that. I don't know why I won't pause. Lou Teller is no stranger to being in hot water. Her name came up during the surge of the Free Britney movement, a campaign to have pop star Britney Spears released from her conservatorship. Teller got caught up after 3 emails allegedly written by the pop star to her attorney in 2007 were published. In the email, Spears calls out her management for their strange behavior. There is a crazy lady named Lou Teller that has been sending stuff to my house, Spears allegedly wrote. I don't know her. She is a stalker. Others have named Teller in alleged conservatorship attempts. In 2010, Michael Lohan accused her and Dina Lohan of trying to put Lindsay Lohan into a conservatorship for her money. In 2019, Courtney Love stated that Teller attempted to take over her estate in 2010. She also claimed the manager tried for a mutated strain of a conservatorship over her to sell the publishing rights to her and control Kurt Cobain's name and likeness. So Justin Bieber cut ties. Many people are cutting ties. Nobody wants to be connected to anything Diddy. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Justin Bieber can cut all the ties he want. Everybody already know he been associated with him. He was the biggest topic. Him and Usher was one of the biggest topics that came out about Diddy. So he can cut as many ties he want. He's still gonna be tied to him.
I appreciate you. In my opinion, Savannah, you're up.
Well, Diva, you know, I've always said that I think there's a bigger story behind the whole Diddy thing, and it involves Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, and Usher. As we all know, there's been many rumors circulating in regards to Usher. But I believe that there is also Justin has a story to tell, and we just have not heard it yet. I honestly don't think society is ready to hear those stories, but I do believe that they will be unmasked soon enough. I think Justin is in another mindset lately. I believe he is about to be a father, if I'm not mistaken. And he has really calmed down from his bad boy ways and the things that he used to do. I can recall watching TMZ many times, and there wasn't hardly a night that there wasn't a Justin Bieber story or things going on in regards to Justin Bieber. So I think it was the right thing to do to clean up his circle, and especially with this new phase of being a father that he's going into. And I think Haley, although they're young, I think she's good for him. And this is a different Justin than what I recall him being, as out of control and bad boy. But I really do think that Justin has a story to tell, and I believe he might be the one that breaks.
I appreciate you, Savannah. Katrina, you're up. Katrina, are you there? Okay, I don't know what happened with Katrina. Wayne, you're up.
You know, I think he's doing the right thing to try to, scrub himself from Diddy. And also, if he's smart, he won't answer nothing on social media. Whatever they're talking about, I wouldn't try to defend myself or nothing. Just be quiet, because something else will come along and he won't be a story anymore.
Right.
That's the best way, because when you open your mouth and start talking, now you opened up for questions. Okay? And you can't limit the questions who people are going to throw at you.
That's facts.
So the best thing to do is zip it and keep going. I wouldn't mention Diddy's name or nothing. I'd concentrate on my family and stay out of social media as much as you can.
I agree with you. Thank you, Wayne. Julius, you're up.
I think Justin is really, I think Savannah said it best. He has really transitioned the last couple of years,
Mm-hmm.
especially since Haley Baldwin has come into his life. Now, she's had her own tumultuous, as we all know, her own tumultuous upbringing being a part of the Baldwin family. And I think, now this is just me looking in, she was able to have him look internally, and he was able to pinpoint things that weren't correct. And, his early 20s, yes, he was reckless. He was reckless. But I bet you everybody on this panel basically has almost those kinds of stories. He
Yeah.
was reckless. But what I've seen the last couple of years is his transition taking place from man child to an actual grown man. And now, yes, a father to be.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe, especially when Usher had, the halftime performance, there was a tiff going on. I do believe he has a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's ready, he'll share that story. And I think there's going to be a whole lot of uproar when that story is told. Even more so than what we already know.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Julius. E, you're up.
Um, I have a different perspective. I agree with Julius in the sense that when we are younger, we're still finding ourselves, and a lot of us, including me, have had some reckless tendencies, or some, I guess the best word would be self-destructive. And by the grace, uh, we all make it out of that, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that this is an arrangement between Haley and Justin, as far as this life that, and this image that they have created and are putting forth. Um, and maybe she loves him. I think she does. But I do have some things and questions about Justin. And I do believe that he does have a story to tell. And a lot of men, when they have the stories to tell that I believe Justin does,
Mm-hmm.
I think they are uncomfortable with coming forward. I think that there's a lot of negative stigmatism that circles around that. And I think there's a lot of guilt and shame attached to it. And um, I am happy that he is dropping Diddy, but then I'm still of a double mind when it comes to that aspect. And the reason is I'm trying to figure out still I don't even want to go down the Diddy train, but it's so loaded as to what a huge impact this person has had that has been so massive on so many different people, and how his hands is in so many different pots. And now people have finally found the strength to cut it off and disconnect. I do feel like that is going to create a shift. I think he should do just like Wayne said, keep it quiet until you're ready to tell the story. Because the type of story Justin has, you can't come in here and Christian Keys me. When you come in and tell it, you got to tell it all.
Yeah. I appreciate you, E. Tay Tay, you're up.
I wishing for justice to find peace and justice for him, because I remember he came out when he said had his first song, "Baby, Baby, Baby." When he came out, that song right there, I know I was a fan of his, but it's just so sad when he was in his 20s make a mistake. I'm just glad he dropped out Diddy out of the way, and then focus on his life. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay Tay. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, Justin has a story to tell,
Yeah.
but I think it falls back on the parents. Usher mama sent him out there.
Ooh.
Justin Bieber
All
mom
right.
sent him out there.
Well.
And then don't forget, she also gave him substance that he didn't even know he was taking when he was racing his car up and down the street. When he's smiling on that mugshot, his mama giving him something to take. What are you giving your child? So they got a mind of their own now, but the root is the parents because the parents want the money. So you don't care what your child and went through as long as you getting the money, as long as your hand is getting patted. So you have to go back to these parents as well. Maybe your kids wouldn't have went through all that if you was being a parent and monitoring them yourself, but sending them off to a place where you think that they can come out to be stars to the Diddy camp when you already heard about the stories from the Diddy camp and you still sending your kids there. So I think it falls back on the parents. And the thing of it is, I hope Justin finds some relief. I hope he finds some peace. I know that he said he turned his life over to God. It's not me here or there to say if he haven't. I just, everybody dissing from Diddy. But y'all knew what Diddy was when y'all was there. So you should have distanced yourself from in that point when you left from around him and let everybody know what was going on. Yeah, I can understand y'all saying y'all was scared and this and that and the stigma of coming out because I'm not saying he was, if he was molested, when
With
I'm sorry.
Katrina.
Got
God.
it. Sorry. If he was I'm sorry, uh uh SA, I'm sorry about that. If he was, uh, they should have been came and said what they said, and maybe that would have helped a lot of other people. Sorry about that, y'all. Please forgive me. That word slipped out, but I am so sorry about that. But yeah, that's all I got, Diva.
Okay, I appreciate you. I think you know what? It's never forget about into people in the entertainment field. It's not even easy for everyday people, for lack of me saying a different word or better words, to come out and say what happened to them when they have been touched by someone inappropriate in their younger age. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do. So, and then you're talking about you have this man that everybody, just love. This is before all the recent stuff that's coming out about Diddy. You have this man that everybody loved, and it's like, how do you come out and say he did something to you? But not only that, it's like you're a male, and this other male allegedly might have violated you. So it's like he's dealing like those individuals, when you have a male that's been touched by a male, those individuals, they really, really struggle. They struggle to find, like who they are, what they are, it's just so much compounded on that whole particular topic. And then, you don't want people to come out because he was young when he went there. They saw too much, a lot happened, and it's so sad. But I really feel, and I don't know what they're going to do, but Diddy's day is coming. It's just a matter, I think, of when, not if, right? So it's just a matter, you know what I mean? Yeah. So let me go ahead and roll into our feel good story. Trying to see where I have it at. Okay. So all of y'all that live out there in Baltimore, this one's for y'all. Hold on.
Choo choo.
Ah.
A Black-owned, family-run bakery in Baltimore with treats ranging from sweet to the savory all have the unmistakable buttery, flaky crust. Owner Amanda Mack is a self-taught baker who rolls love into each and every item she serves, cultivating a devoted following. We stopped by her Baltimore Harbor Place bakery for a taste.
We have biscuits also.
When it comes to baking, Amanda Mack is meticulous in measure.
That's about to be so good.
Consistency.
The champagne is on its way.
And the stuff you can never quite put your finger on.
The apples are, oh my, they're amazing.
I think my cooking style is very soulful. I just cook from feeling. Stories and nostalgia inspire the dishes that I create.
What if you're having a bad day?
If I'm having a bad day, I don't cook.
That sums up a baker who launched Crust by Mac in the summer of 2020.
We opened during the pandemic.
Good morning.
People were looking for a reason to get out, and we made it the thing to do.
Wow.
No wonder, considering the treats she offers up, an assortment of sweet and savory confections that make the mouth water.
It's just something about you're putting your blood, sweat, and tears into it. You can taste that. You can taste when you're baking from a place of love.
And without it, well, Max says, what's the point?
Biscuits, rolls, cornbread. We also have a crust on everything that we make.
Crunchy,
Caramelized. It feels good. It makes you feel good. It's a safe space.
Mac yearned for safe spaces growing up in the McCullough homes of West Baltimore. She found them there too.
It really was a place that I learned the importance of sticking together, of pulling people up when you rise, about supporting each other.
So how old were you when you learned how to make biscuits, Grandma?
I was 13 when I started cooking. I used to be in the kitchen with my mother all the time.
That support began with her own family. While not a formal culinary education, one based on years of experience and technique.
My grandmother makes these biscuits. It's one of my favorite things. She made them every morning at 5 a.m. She would get up and make them for school. And she would make them with these mason jars. You would hear her pressing the biscuits into the dough, and it would just make this poof sound.
Oh, did you hear that?
See? That's what I used to hear in the middle of the night.
You put holes in the top to let the steam out.
Her grandmother, Yvonne Roy, still comes by every day to help out.
You are living your grandmother's dream.
I really am. I think just being able to live through this with me is something that she never really imagined in this scale. But the fact that she's a part of the process every step of the way is something that she's able to bask in and just be really proud of.
The former marketing maven took a leap of faith in 2018, selling pastries at pop-ups, coffee shops, and events, earning a devoted following and a reputation for funding good causes, including the Maryland Food Bank, while also setting up spaces to mentor young people.
Giving back to my community is a really big thing because I was once in that position where mentorship matters, access to opportunities, access to funding, all of those things play a part. So now that I'm in a position to be an inspiration and be support, it's really important that I do that. These are the crowd favorites and my favorites.
Engaging with her community has helped Mac make her dreams a very tasty reality.
Grits are the bomb, okay?
From her cheddar grits and broiled salmon cakes to her famous oversized breakfast egg souffle sandwiches.
It has a maple turkey sausage, our souffle egg, which is chef's kiss.
Her fried catfish over Cajun cream grits with pink Himalayan Tabasco salt and crab pie stuffed to the brim are fan favorites.
You see everything is brown, everything has a crust to it, you know, beautiful color.
I might just have to taste a little bit of this crust. Oh my goodness. By far the best crust I have ever had. And I've been doing a lot of these. I'm telling you.
But leave room for dessert.
Our birthday crust this is our origin story here. We make this wild berry jam on the inside.
I'm gonna get the crust and
the crust, yes. The edges are always my favorite parts.
There's more, from cookies to her famous crostinis, both peanut butter and jelly, and whipped sweet potato.
Did that girl from McCullough Homes ever dream of a business in the Inner Harbor?
No.
And for a cafe, you can't beat the view.
Before the sun comes up and I'm just looking out onto the water, like sometimes I literally stop and thank my ancestors because I don't forget that they were the ones on these ports and these waters.
Coming to the port.
Yes.
Shipped in.
That is something that I
like
do
cargo.
not take lightly. And the fact that I have this power and I'm turning something like this into generational success for my family is something that I feel like they're just looking up at me and saying, like, good job.
They are. Here to you, Mandy. And look at this.
A
feast.
We've already been eating.
Yeah. I cannot go on about her crust. I mean, the most buttery, flaky, because crust is generally
This is the
burnt.
crab pie.
Biscuits.
Crab pie.
This crab pie weighs like 2 pounds.
Oh
So
my gosh.
cut it in half.
Well, no, I
Well, bite
it's great.
it.
I mean it.
But it's
Oh my
chock
gosh.
full. It's amazing.
Wow.
The birthday, the birthday pastries, I wanted those here. Those are incredible. The peanut butter and jelly crostini.
Oh yeah. Oh, I want that.
I couldn't go on enough.
This crab pie, right?
Really?
Oh my
Next time
God.
you're in Baltimore, you have to stop by because you're going to go to the Inner Harbor anyway, right?
Uh-huh.
I thought it was a great story. I mean,
Steve Hartman is serving up a morning meal that's no.
She was self-trained. Thought it was a great story. Good job to her.
It's a good story, but I'm not.
Wait, hold on, Katrina. Hold on, Katrina. Like, what was you saying, Savannah?
I'm gonna go visit her shop, and I'll report back and let you know.
Please do. It looks absolutely delicious. I do want her to use some gloves, but I'm gonna let her slide. Go ahead, Katrina. What was you trying to say?
Oh, that was it. I was like, the food stuff look good, but what the gloves, girl? You dealing with the public. You got to put some gloves on. I ain't saying she ain't washing her hands, but you mixing this with this and that, and you ain't washing your hand. But, I hope she make a big success of that, because the harbor is where she will make her money, because a lot of folks be down there.
Yeah.
Her nails were clean. Her nails was clean. I looked at them.
May I?
Yes, you can. Yes.
That's how Grandma cooked. Grandma didn't cook with gloves. I was more concerned about the hair, but Grandma didn't cook with gloves.
I was going to say the same thing.
Hold on, E. Go ahead, E.
No, I was going to say the same thing. I didn't have a problem with the hands as long as they're clean. And her hands didn't appear to have them long nails. But I have been very weight conscious. I've shared that openly with you all. But when I saw that catfish, I can just feel the 10 pounds coming on. When I go back to the Inner Harbor Diva, thank you for sharing this, because that catfish over those grits, I loved it.
Her food looks delicious, but let me say this: when you are working for the public, it don't matter what we feel about your hands. You should be using some gloves. That's it, and that's all. Okay, grandma in there, they ain't got no gloves on, don't have no hair net on.
Gloves and net for the camera.
Come on, at the very least, Wayne. And then, hey, what you do when we ain't looking, fine. But for the camera, you put your gloves, you put some gloves on, and put your hair net on. Anywho, thank you guys for being here. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate y'all spending this time with me. It's good stories, good topics. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat the divorce.